All right, what's going on, guys? We are back with another Dokkan Battle video, and today we are going to be going over some more information post data download that we did not cover this morning. So from Proton, who is the one that we get all the data download information from, also likes to look at these like ID tables that could give us some insight into upcoming EZAs. So what he says here is after the latest data download, there is one gap in each table. The ID ratio between the tables is 3 and 3. So that points to an LR EZA missing or 3 Super EZAs. So basically the way you figure this out, the way that he'll figure this out is to understand like how much or how many times a character like EZAs, how many steps is there in an EZA. So there's 3 steps to an LR EZA. For a Super EZA, there's only 1 extra step. So basically what this points towards is that there is some sort of either LR EZA or a batch of Super EZAs. Well, which one's more likely? Probably the LR EZA, let's be honest. Now, thinking about what that LR could be, obviously it's probably something more leaning towards part 2. I don't think it's going to be anything else that we're going to see this coming week. It's probably going to be all with the part 2 stuff, along with, you know, whoever the part 2 character is, which we are all, you know, kind of leaning towards more of a hybrid Saiyan, I think, here, just based off of like the Broly mission, based off the Bond of Master Disciple, being within the Red Stone shop. Like all these factors are kind of pointing more towards a hybrid Saiyan. And then you've got the Trunks with his EZA coming up. You've got the Int Trunks with his awakening from the World Tournament. There's just a lot of hybrid building up and a lot of, let's say it, Trunks building up. So we're going to look at a couple of options. There's one that stands out above the rest to me and is probably the most obvious, but you know, Dokkan likes to switch things up. So we'll talk about a couple different options, and I want to get your guys' insight in here as well about what you guys think we could see. So if we think about the categories that are specific to this celebration, so if we look at Android Cell Saga, you know, this is where 16 kind of lies. I think we're moving more towards a hybrid Saiyan, more towards a Bond of Master Disciple. So if we think within the Android Cell Saga, within hybrid Saiyan, and within the Bond of Master Disciple categories, there is one character, one LR character that matches each of these categories. So if we are to look here, I'll give you guys about 10 seconds to kind of figure it out. I'm sure everybody already notices it, right? You look here, you look here, you look here. There's one character that stands out as being there for all 3. Well, I guess I shouldn't say one. There's a few, but one that would make the most sense. This guy. So Future Gohan and Trunks. I definitely think we could see this guy get an EZA. This is one that I would hope for. I think it is time for him, right? I mean, he came out in 2022. So I could definitely see this guy getting, you know, some sort of EZA coming up very soon, especially if we're going to move in towards this, like thinking of Bond of Master Disciple style thing, right? Because last year, within the Redstone shop, the categories were, it was Majin Power and Final Trump Card. We had Gohan as the Dokkan Fest. We had Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks as the Carnival. Gotenks is Final Trump Card. Gotenks needed a Final Trump Card, right? So if we look at Gotenks' whole passive here, he needs a Final Trump Card. He was kind of built around that category. So my guess is that this time we'll see this character be built around the Bond of Master Disciple category. This makes the most sense as this is like the most Bond of Master Disciple character I can think of, other than like a Gohan and a Piccolo. Like let's be serious. These guys are like the epitome of Bond of Master Disciple. Now, what we could see from their EZA, let's kind of look at what they've got built here. You know, obviously we just raise this up, I think, to like 200, maybe give them some guard, maybe get a little damage reduction, maybe some dodge thrown in here. HP 3% or more. They randomly change key spheres of any type, of a certain type, from AGL to AGL key spheres. So getting a bunch of extra key spheres there. They need more key in order to proc this part of their passive. They need AGL key spheres to proc this part of their passive, and then even more key to proc the additional super. So what I think we could see is probably this all drop down, right? Probably like 3 and 3 and 5 or something like that. Maybe, you know, maybe get rainbow key spheres kind of thrown in there somewhere. Maybe build up this a little bit more. You know, give them attacks effective against all types, or something different kind of thrown in there. I think. I'm not one to build passives. Let's be honest. I'm not a passive builder. So I know a lot of you guys are. So let me know your thoughts on how you think this guy's passive should be built if they were to get an EZA. Active skill wouldn't change based off of an EZA, so that would stay the way it is, right? Where he exchanges into the Super Saiyan Gohan when HP is 58% or less, starting from the 3rd turn from start of battle. I think for here, I mean, we could just see the 12 key go to greatly raise. I think you just keep this the way it is, it'd be totally fine. And then for here, I mean, greatly raise, let's say, attack and defense for, let's say, 2 turns, 4 turns. I like the multi-turn buff that some of these characters are getting. So let's say it's like a 4-turn attack and defense buff. I'd be cool with that. And then you look at the exchange form here of the Super Saiyan Gohan. 5 turns, he gets more ki, he gets more attack, he launches additional supers. If he's below the HP threshold, he actually has a scouter effect, which is huge. So I could see this change to being something even higher, right? And maybe giving him that scouter effect for free would be really nice to kind of help out. When the character's KO'd, you get a revive. So that's good right there. You know, just keep that in there is fine. At the end of the turn, which the character's revival skill is activated, he gets more ki, more defense, and more damage reduction. So you definitely want him to get that off. So they'll probably make it, I don't want to say easier, because it's really just when he's killed. If they change it to maybe him or anybody on the team on the rotation, would be pretty good. Just this, I mean, you just add defense in there, or like add multi-turn buffs into these, and I think you're pretty much good to go. Now, if it's not to be this guy, because this is also one of the characters I think we could see as the Part 2 Carnival, right? A Super Saiyan Gohan, or a Gohan in a Trunks in some capacity tag unit, I think would be really cool. I think that's a much wanted character in this game, because this guy is just an exchange. So I could see them making a tag character. And if they did that, I mean, they could still definitely EZA this guy alongside a tag character version, and they could run together because they would link up just fine because they're not the exact same name. So there's ways you can do that, kind of float around, but I definitely think we're looking at something hybrid Saiyan. I think we're definitely looking at something Bond of Master and Disciple. So another one I thought maybe we could EZA. Doesn't really fit hybrid Saiyan per se, but there's a hybrid Saiyan in the card, is this one here. The Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Gohan. I definitely think this one is very possible because these guys do also share the Android Cell Saga. They do share the bond of Master Disciple. They just don't share hybrid because it is not a tag unit. It's not an exchange unit. It is just a straight up Goku and Gohan. So they don't have pure Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan because neither of them both fit one category, which is a shame with the way Dokkan does their categories. But again, I think that's why they do the tag stuff now, because it does open the door for more category options. But everything we could see this guy EZA here, I think he's well overdue for one as well. Right, he came out in 2022, the same year as this guy, just a little bit later. So I think, if anything, this guy could be a solid second option. Now, of course, he wouldn't really help with that hybrid mission against Broly, unfortunately, but he would still make a great EZA, and this is a crazy, like, what-if style character. Now, I would love to see if they could, I mean, shoot, dude, could they do this as the Part 2 Carnival, but as a tag form? Because if they did it as a tag form, they'd have the hybrid Saiyan. They would, and they'd have all categories. So that is also a possibility I think we could see. But for right now, just talking about upcoming EZAs, I think this guy has the biggest chance to EZA. If not him, I would love to see them. And yeah, it's really all I kind of want to go over today. There's not really much more to pull from here as looking at LRs, because there's no other LR that really fits the bill that would get an EZA. I mean, there is this Future Gohan, but let's be honest, I don't think it's time for him yet. He is a 2023 character. He has only been out for 2 years at this point. Usually about 3 years-ish is when the door kind of opens for some of these EZAs. And because he was a worldwide celebration character, I think they would wait to kind of do him alongside like this Trunks here. That's just my opinion. That's just the way I think about it. Usually when characters come out together, I like to see them EZA together. That's why I didn't give this guy an option here either. I think he would be a phenomenal EZA, a phenomenal like boost to the hybrid Saiyan category. But honestly, I don't think they're going to do him without doing Piccolo. And they could do both, but I don't think so. Just based off of this data table here, it looks like there's only one LR EZA coming up. So in the end, to say, if there is one LR EZA coming, I hope it's him. If it's not him, I hope it's them. And that is my guess. That is my choice. So I would like to hear from you guys on what you guys think. If you guys did stick around to the end of this video, I do appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know what you guys think of this theory of one of these two guys getting a possible EZA in part 2 of this Android 16 celebration. Do you think I'm kind of on the right track here? Do you guys want to see these guys EZA? If you do, which one would you prefer? And what do you want to see from them? And if it's neither, who would you like to see get that LR EZA spot? Let me know in the comments below what you guys are thinking. Like, subscribe, do the thing, and I will see you guys next time. See ya!